Hey there, my name is Dimitri and welcome to another video here at Knack. In this video, we're going to be exploring the Knack maintenance and inspections template. I'll guide you through the features of this very powerful template designed to streamline your maintenance and inspection processes. It revolutionizes the management of construction projects by offering a seamless solution for performing construction or property management inspections, ensuring equipment reliability and regulatory compliance effortlessly. This will provide a centralized platform which simplifies the intricate processes of tracking maintenance requests, scheduling inspections, and maintaining adherence to industry regulations, complete with real-time data updates. This streamlined approach enhances operational efficiency and minimizes the risk of non-compliance issues, enabling organizations to really focus on their core objectives without the burden of complex administrative tasks. It promotes transparency, easily viewing task statuses, fostering accountability and transparency. There's also customizable flexibility where you can tailor the template to specific organizational needs, including custom fields and workflows. Proactively, you can manage tasks to reduce downtime, extend equipment lifespan, and avoid costly repairs or penalties. You also can access anywhere. Utilize the convenience of accessing the web app from an iPhone, Android, or iPad, allowing for an on-site inspection tool and seamless management of tasks from any location. So let's configure the data objects that the template provides. I can open this data tab right here to view the data objects, and I can view the different data objects like inspections, maintenance, requests, and the assets as well. I can review and customize each field. So each object contains default fields, as you can see right here. You can customize these fields by adding or editing or deleting them. So if I click on this, you can see I could change this name. I could change this multiple choice and type, add different options. Obviously we have HVAC, electrical, machinery, vehicles. I could add another category like motorcycles specifically, and I can do cars rather than vehicles. Press save here. You'll notice that it does cars and motorcycles, and then press update field. If I wanted to add a new field, I could as well, adding a option here, like a number or a currency, maybe it's more specifically, that could be like cost. And then you can put the format of the currency right there. You can set a default value, whether it was required or must be unique. For example, another option is inspections object. You might want to add a field like this for inspector name or inspection notes. So let's add a field for paragraph text, inspector notes, and then let's add another one for inspector name. You can add other different fields like the following. For example, you can have work orders, which would have order ID, description, things like priority. So you can do a choice option for something like priority. So you can do high, medium, and low. I can add another table. That could be something like technicians. So maybe that'd be employees. I could go to maintenance technicians and I could add different fields that I'd want. We have like name. We could have contact information here added within this instead of data as well. We have equipment. We have name. We could add something like, let's do serial number. Let's do required for that one. We could add a new table called locations. We can even do a blank table, call this locations. Add a field for something like name, which I already have. Let's add another one, call this address. And then we can add another field that we can do as a person property. We could have that be the contact person. Now let's define user roles and permissions, okay? So click on the users tab to manage the roles. All right, so you can see right here, there's a bunch of different users over here. The template does include different users already. We have like admin, maintenance technician, inspector, employee. You can add more users if you want by clicking plus here and adding the role. But we're gonna set some permissions. So let's configure what each role can view and edit. For instance, you might want to allow inspectors to only view and update inspection reports. So let's go here. We can go to the pages we have set up, right? And then we can go to the EMP and inspection and maintenance equipment login. So if we click on this and we go to settings, you see which roles have permission. So let's make an adjustment here. So we're gonna click on this and add admin and press save so that admins have access to this as well. As we want admins to be able to manage all parts of the app, but say we only want technicians to be able to update work orders, right? We can make adjustments to this. Now I do want to make a note here inside of your pages that whatever page we're looking at, if you are in the settings, right, of what I just changed, you'll notice that there is this checkbox to limit permissions to specific user roles. So you can make adjustments to this, right? You don't have to always have this be the case. You can have it be whatever you want, but I had to specifically point that out because it does default start like this, but you don't have to have it be the case for every page, right? We're just editing the settings based on the page. So for example, you see the inspections login, right? This would be where the inspection reports are. I only want to have the inspectors here. All right, so let's add some customization here. So we can see that we can add some views to the maintenance request section. For example, we can add a new form here even as well. This form can be for those who are logged in to add a maintenance request. So let's add a form for that real quick here. You can add or remove any fields, add actions and rules. For example, some submit actions. So when a submission is done, you can show a confirmation message or add anything else that you'd like. So as well, you can actually do record actions. So insert and update records, add a rule. So the action would be to update the record and you can change it to whatever your preference may be. So let's see this in action. Let's preview it. If we go here, we can go to the this maintenance and inspection live preview. Go to the form, equipment, HVAC system, status, scheduled, critical, give it to Jordan Lee, write some custom notes. The customer states the AC is not working. Submit it, and then you'll see what I submitted just went through, and you can view the details here. Now we can see we can also add another form here for these maintenance requests, and we can do it for work orders. All right, so work order, add form, preview it inside of the application. All right. Let's add it for an electrical panel that's scheduled, high priority, and customer states that someone had their lights that won't turn on, right? So we submit this. And as you can see throughout this whole process, what we're doing is we're just building out more and more views to make it user-friendly. We can add a calendar for those work orders. So for example, we go to requested on, we can set the calendar to be a monthly calendar, change the event colors based off of the different types of things like HVAC being red, and then forklift being another color, and then another one. We can tweak it to whatever we want. As you can see here, I'm not very good with colors, but I can read, so I have that helping me. But when I do a preview update, you'll see it changes it to green and purplish and orangish, mattering on the category. All right, now let's go into pages again, and we're gonna go into the equipment section, and we're gonna add another view. So let's add a grid view here. We can do it for the equipment items, and let's make sure that you can add an additional link to the details page. So essentially everything inside, when clicking on it, you can see all the different info. Let's go through again and add a pie chart for, let's see, the work orders. So those work orders, if I click on it again, all right, let's add that work report. So we have the work orders. It's gonna be, allow users to add custom filters. We can also add more than just this. As you can see though, it's pretty much showcasing the different statuses of these work orders. Let's add equipment items. We're going to be able to add specific columns we want. Allow users to add custom filters is always what we want to go with so that we can make sure people can filter it to their needs. And now you see this entire page is built out. So as you can see, it's pretty much tailored to whatever you can imagine. All right, now let's dive into automating workflows. If we go to rules in this page, you'll see we can make a rule for when the status is scheduled to give a confirmation, and another rule that allows us when the status is complete to show a message saying that it's complete. All right, that's the first one. These rules are really actually simple to make, as you saw. It's pretty much like our own built-in step-by-step conditional rule platform inside of Knack. All right, let's go in here as well. Let's go to pages, edit maintenance request. Let's click on the form, and you can see there's form rules too. So email rules are essentially you can send a custom email for, once again, when status is something like it has changed, and you can have the email come from a specific email and send to somebody else on the team based on a field and come from yourself. Then we'll write out this subject to say maintenance request, and the status has changed, as well as the status of the maintenance request has changed in the select option. All right, now let's go over to the task section and add a task and show how rules can be made there. So reminder to generate and send weekly report. Let's make a weekly recurring task that happens at let's say 8 a.m. And then it'll send a custom email as well from the email you set it to and to the email field that it's assigned to. It's a weekly reminder in the subject. This is your weekly reminder to generate and send the weekly report. Now what we can do here is we can run it. And when we run this task, you'll see that the history showcases that it started at the time we ran it and ended at the time we ran it, and the records processed were as appropriate. Now that's ran, let's do it again. Another task, for example, could be work order technician assignment, right? And then let's have it so that it sends an email where if the work order contains scheduled and the technician availability is during this week or after a current time, I should say, the email will get sent from the email you assign it to and send to the email field for the technician, letting them know that they have a new work order. And then from there, let's run this to test it out. And let's see if there's a success. And if there's success, we know that it worked, and we can go through repeating this process for any automations that we'd like. Now, before deploying your app, it's crucial to test it out thoroughly. You can switch to the live app by going into that live app view. By clicking on Go to Live App, you can test the login as different user roles to ensure that permissions and views are working correctly. For example, you can log in as an inspector to verify they can access and update inspections. And you could submit test data like we showcased earlier with the submission of those forms. Adding test records for those different steps can check whether all the forms, views, and automations are functioning as expected. In conclusion, once you're satisfied with the setup, it's time to deploy your app. It's very simple. After it's published, simply share the URL, whether it be in an incognito tab or otherwise. Congratulations, you've successfully built a maintenance and inspection app using Knack's template. This app will streamline your maintenance tasks and inspections, making it easier to manage and track all of your activities. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.